Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. New Vision International School 2019-2020 Social Studies Grade 8. Hello my dear students, how are you today? Welcome back to my Social Studies class. At the beginning, please prepare these things and don't forget them. We need class book, activity book, atlas, and highlighter. I'm going to discuss with you Lesson 1, Unit 4, Human and Economic Geography. So please open your student book, page number 145. Our objectives which we have to achieve by the end of the lesson are to read and interpret graphs and diagrams to learn about the size of the world's population and how it has changed over the time. We will study the maps to see how the world's population is distributed, and we will try to understand why some places are more densely populated than the others. And the last one, we will work with population pyramids and compare population pyramids from different countries. Through this picture, please try to answer these questions. Question number 1. What can you see in the picture? And the second question is, what do you think the unit is going to be about? Almost 20% of the total world population live in China. In this unit, we will revisit some of the topics you have already covered to see how they apply to whole the world. And we will learn about the way population move and change over the time. Before we start our lesson today, you have to think about these questions. The first one is, how many people live on Earth? And the second, why do people move from place to another, and where do they go? This paragraph will give us some information about the last two questions. And it will be about the size of the world's population. At the beginning, no one knows exactly how many people lived on the earth in the first year, but the social scientists estimate was around 250 million. And we have the United Nations reported that was on 31 October 2011 about the number of the people on the earth that reached 7 billion. But today there are even more people than that because the population increases all the time. Try to use the diagrams and graph in student book page number 146 to see how the world's population has grown and changed over the time from the first year of DHD and to the present day. And you will note that there are some points on the map. Each dot represents 100 million people. Regional differences. Now we have two questions here. The first one is, are the population growing in the continents of the world in the same rate? Number 2, what are the effects about population? In next paragraph, maybe you can find the answers. The population of Africa, Asia, and parts of South America are growing at a faster rate than the population of other parts of the world. And some people may not have enough food or clean water, and healthcare are not available to everyone. Population growth rates are high if the birth rate is much higher than the death rate. So, population growth rates are high, and population increases in size quickly. But there are some developed countries, such as those in Europe, the USA, and Japan, most people have enough to eat and there is a high standard of healthcare available, but they have a high life expectancy and the death rate and birth rate tend to be low. So the result is slow population growth. Population growth and pressure on resources. Although the world's population is growing, the area of the land available to live on is still the same size as it was thousands of years ago. And as the population increases, people need more space to live. As a result, cities grow and spread outward. And there are settlements are built on land that was previously empty or used for farming at the same time. When we have increasing, we will get demand for food and the farmers have to produce greater supplies of food for more people. We have a diagram in page number 149 that shows the increasing people and the food production. Before we start our lesson today, you have to think about these questions. The first one is, how many people live on Earth? And the second, why do people move from place to another and where do they go? Population pyramids. What is a population pyramid and what does it show? Try to compare your answers with next paragraph. A population pyramid is a type of back-to-back bar graph that shows age and gender of a country's population. And the data for males is shown on the left hand side and the data for females is shown on the right hand side. We have a population pyramid for Kenya in 2011 in page number 151 student book. As an example, population structure. What does the population structure describe? Maybe you will find the answer in next slide. So read it carefully. Our objectives which we have to achieve by the end of the lesson are to read and interpret graphs and diagrams to learn about the size of the world's population and how it has changed over the time. We will study the maps to see how the world's population is distributed, and we will try to understand why some places are more densely populated than the others. And the last one, we will work with population pyramids and compare population pyramids from different countries. The last thing is assignment. Activity book, page number 103. Don't forget your homework. Have a nice day. See you next week, inshallah.